Alright, spiritual people, gather up. I'm in the mood to share some occultic knowledge. Have you ever seen this before? That's the kalpa friksha. That is the kalpa friksha, which is the wish fulfilling tree of this fallen prison dimension. Why is it the wish fulfilling tree of the fallen prison dimension? Because it grants the major four things that everyone here is looking for. And that is sex, money, power, and fame. That's what everyone is doing, whatever they're doing for. Sex, money, power, and fame. And because of that, this has started to turn the society satanic. Listen, come here, let me show you another symbol. Look at this. That's the symbol of the skull and bone. Now you might wonder why I'm bringing this up at this point. I want to show you what true Satanism really means in society, away from what your religious circles have been telling you about it. The skull that you have seen, or the skull that you see sitting on the bone, the skull symbolizes the mind, and the bone symbolizes the limbs that go into action after a thought has been thought. So Satanists are actually people that only think and act without feeling. So the skull sitting on the bones, where the gap of where the heart is supposed to be, because occultically or esoterically speaking, the heart is the processor of what is good and bad. So satanic people are simply people that think and act. And is that not what our society is these days? People do no longer feel, they no longer take they no longer take into consideration if what they're about to do is wrong or right. That is satanic. People fly over and despise high vibrational states of being like love, like kindness, like consideration. They are mistaking them to be weakness. Not even mistaking them, but labeling them weakness. And the purpose of the spiritual awakening that we receive and the spiritual knowledge that comes with it is to help you sever your connection from the wish-fulfilling tree of this fallen dimension by disconnecting you from the pursuit or the blind conquest that you've been having towards these four things in different ways in your life. That is why a spiritual awakening will cleanse your attachment to sex, to money, to power, and to even fame. You link yourself to higher purpose and higher truth more than all these fallen dimensional practices and the satisfactions that they once gave you. The spiritual awakening will teach you that what you think you want is not what you actually want. What you really want is to never want anything ever again in your whole entire existence. Because desire only becomes stronger when you feed it. It hits even harder the next time. And your spiritual awakening will show you that as people continue to participate in the blind conquest for these four things, their sin begins in the form and style that as though they are consuming somebody else. But the sad ending of things is that they end up consuming themselves.